Hey guys, welcome back. If you just came from the most recent short little video, hey, what's poppin'? We're gonna talk about last night. We're gonna talk about the eviction episode, and
also get into some spoilers about the new HOH and the nominees.
yeah, because we have things to say. So take it away, Scotty. What episode is this?
So episode 25, Eviction of Sarah Beth. It was good while it lasted, but she can't be here any longer. And like, I will say, I really did like watching Sarah Beth on the show. I think she was a fun like villain character towards like the start of jury, from her HOH to like wanting to get out Hannah and then backtracking. Like, she was just like a really interesting person to watch on TV. And like, I mean, I think out of all the duos, her and Kyland were definitely the tightest. So
yeah, and I think we'll remain friends continuing on. And I think that like we've stated before, if it was any other season, she would do probably really well. This is just unfortunately not her season. This is not the time for the white people. Y'all, we've had our time. We got some history to make and we're doing it, and it's freaking awesome. And I love watching it.
It sounds like from the jury segment with Derek X and Brittini, which I love a good jury segment, and I was not disappointed. I honestly like Brittini in the jury a little bit more because
she was giving me that same over the top energy, which I liked, but I was also kind of like it was good. Like, yeah, be about it for sure. But then I was also like, it's giving me, I'm on the block. Like, calm down.
It wasn't to that level. It was just like a little odd because Derek X and Brittini like together. It's always in jury where you get like the weirdest combos of like people.
Yeah, like it's hilarious. Like, what was in 6 when it was like Rachel and who was there?
Oh, Jennifer, and then James showed up.
That just, oh my God. So you see some stuff, and I wouldn't say it was like anything of that extent, but it was definitely very like, he's a more calm personality and she's a more like hyper.
Yeah, hyper.
Like, to see that with no other people to like other people to balance it out was a little interesting, but I mean, whatever.
The little like bit of drama from this episode and like kind of chaos. Basically there was a beetle outside in the backyard. Derek F like popped off the hammock and sent Hannah like falling off and hitting her head. Meanwhile, everyone from the kitchen who was cooking at the time left to go check on Hannah. Claire goes to open the oven and a big fire like spews out. So they're all outside. Azah and Claire are like, shit, where's the fire extinguisher? Then they all come inside. They're like, was there like a fire? It's like really smoky. And Azah's like, yeah, the fuck.
She's like, but is Hannah alive? Okay.
And Tiffany's like, Hannah's got a concussion. There's a fire in the kitchen. Derek F all caused it because he's afraid of a beetle. Like,
it was funny, but it was also kind of like, it was literally the definition of like, when it rains, it pours, or like when shit hits the fan. It was all at once. And I just think it's funny because if it was really getting bad, they would have had to like not even show it, because production would have had to come in and like put that fire out. Like,
this is the second time, literally, I hate to mention the season that shown named, but season 22, there was a fire in the kitchen, I think twice. And like, I don't know, there's just something about this kitchen.
I want to say it was Cody twice. Like, that was like the joke, like Cody's trying to burn the house down or something. I don't know.
It was David and Cody, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right. So it was just like somebody's trying to burn the house. Like, I don't know. It was just, I was like, you guys have house before. Like,
the other big bit of drama was a conversation Alyssa had with Xavier and Claire while in the backyard. Do you want to mention what kind of happened with that?
Alyssa screwed herself. She basically stated the obvious, but in a way of like, hey, did you just realize like you're the only white person left? And so her saying that, I think she thought, she was just like, wow, that's interesting. And Xavier was like, now we got to, she's got to go. Because now if we get rid of Claire instead of her, then it'll look super suspicious. So he's like, now she has to go first.
But to be fair, it looks suspicious already. So like, what's the fucking like Xavier's like, oh my God, like, no, now I have to send home Alyssa. Alyssa has to go home first. It's like, okay, you literally have Alyssa and Claire. You know, obviously now we know, spoilers, by the way, I'm going to start talking about the new HOH. If you don't want to know that, don't watch anymore. Tiffany won HOH again. Obviously she was dethroned so she could compete in the next HOH. She ended up winning. She, like, obviously, if Alyssa or Claire does not win Veto, even if one of them does win Veto, they are both going to, either one is going to go home at this point.
And another thing that Julie said was not a spoiler, but it's like, it's a double eviction. And then the week after is another double eviction, which is cool, but I would have rather had like a triple, but like, whatever, it's fine.
Honestly, I think they timed the double eviction like this on purpose to make it so it goes either into final 6 being the cookout or into a final 5, like with the cookout with one non-cookout member.
Yeah, the drama. I think they did it on purpose. Yeah, I think you're right.
Because it's normally not this late. And if it is, they already had one earlier.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Normally they would have had one earlier, at least, if they're going to have another one now. So
yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. I think, wait 1 second. I'm trying to see. I want to confirm her nominations before I say anything. Alyssa and Xavier. Yeah. So yes. The reason why Alyssa and Xavier are up on the block together is because Tiffany, I think, obviously it's for face value, it's the duo, but I think also Tiffany is smart enough to know Xavier would want to keep Alyssa over Claire this week, because even though Xavier is the one that kind of told people about what Alyssa said, Xavier knows that the longer Alyssa stays in the game is more beneficial for him. And like,
and if he the final 2, he can use that as his argument. Well, I kept my duo to the very end, which is, of course, Tiffany would rather have that.
Well, I think also just they kind of want to have the thought process of sending home Derek F, because I heard a conversation with Xavier and Kyland where Xavier was considering if he wins the veto, he uses it on Alyssa, forcing her to put up Claire. So it's either they send home Claire or they send home Xavier. And, or, I mean, it's just like a lot of like, do you really want to be like messing with like anything like that right now? And like, I don't think it's smart.
But I think they're toying with the idea. I think just like the flips, that's probably not going to happen.
No, and I really don't see Xavier like pulling that bold of a move. And I really think that if he does try to do that, that will be his downfall, because he's done a really good job of either keeping conflict to a minimum, even like becoming a mediator in times. But like, if he really wants to do that, I think Kyland wants him to do that just so Kyland can have a better shot of winning.
Yeah, of course.
Honestly, from the conversation Tiffany and Kyland had today, and also seen in the episode of them talking about taking each other to final 2, I would love to see them 2 together in the final 2 for the only reason, I'm not saying like over everyone else, but if they were to make it to the final 2, I think they both play drastically different games, a part of the same alliance. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep. And that would be interesting to see like who can persuade people better with that and what everyone is going to vote on when it comes down to that.
And at this point, we already know that Hannah, Derek F, and Azah are probably not going to win and probably are going to stay until the end. And right now it's between Xavier, Kyland, and Tiffany on
Yeah.
on it, who can get out who first. And
Yeah.
just being realistic.
Top tier players.
As much as I love Hannah, she is not going to win the game, I don't think, unless she's sitting next to Azah or Derek F, which I don't see happening.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's about
in these double evictions, she's got to make some wins.
Yeah. And I think if she does pull like a move like that, because I mean, again, I hate to bring it up, but it's always a good reference point. Season 15, Gina Marie was not on anyone's radar until really she put up Amanda McRae. And after that, she made it to final 2. And that was really her only move, but it was such a big move. Like, it kind of was like, well, I mean, Andy, what did you do? I mean, like, yeah, you pulled some strings here and there, but like Gina Marie literally got out the biggest target in the house.
Yep.
So if Hannah can like get out Kyland or Xavier, that might be a winning move compared to Tiffany, where like Tiffany has to explain more like
all the puppetry she's done, and not such like a obvious I won this and I did this. Like, a lot more to it.
That's one thing that's always interesting to see on finale night. Of you have people like Hayden, Rachel, Janelle, who if they do make it to final 2, they can say, I won this many competitions. I was, going out every week competing to save myself. And then you have people like Tiffany who they're like, I was never put in jeopardy because I did A, B, and C. And because I knew what I was doing and how to manipulate people. So I was never put in danger. And like, it's hard to like do that live. I don't like that they do it live now.
No?
I mean, I like that I can see and hear everything that's being said and it's not edited, because in the past, like they would be doing like the finale questions like the day or 2 before.
Yeah.
And like the whole jury would be in the house, but like now, like the 3rd member's evicted on finale night, they do it live. So are you safe? You're like looking off into the distance.
No, I'm safe. I'm just like, 1, I need to like hurry up, and 2, I didn't know where this car was going, and I'm like at the corner of a cul-de-sac kind of thing, but I just didn't know if I was in the way.
Okay, let's wrap this up then. So basically, Tiffany put up Alyssa and Xavier. Alyssa's probably going to go home unless she wins veto. And then at that point, Tiffany will either have to put up Claire, which will really be detrimental for her game, or she'll have to go against the cookout and put up Derek F, and then they vote out Derek F. So,
and then where do we go from there?
It's like a great HOH to win, but also not, especially now knowing that there's a double eviction right after. So I think Tiffany,
out that door. If
Tiffany really should have thrown it, because I mean,
I don't think it would have been targeted if anybody else had won besides Alyssa, maybe. And even then, I don't think Alyssa was good. I really don't. Yeah, I think she probably should have thrown it. It's a good win to your belt, and back to back is cool. But I think you're right with the double evictions coming up. Looking at it from that perspective, throwing it probably would have been better for her. But we'll see.
Yeah. So
you want to know what we think about all that, you're gonna need to like, comment, share, subscribe.